Welcome back, guys. Notorious here, and this is episode number 2 of our My Team series. If you watched the last episode, you know that we DNF'd in Bahrain after getting a lot of underbody damage. We are gonna speed through this short episode, and you will know why it's so short in just a moment, as we have some meetings here with our team. We take a loss on chassis morale for a discount on a part here. We quickly buy that, and being in this is the second race, we now get the opportunity to do quick practice, which I think is going to save us a lot of time. So we head straight into that here. Now I must apologize for this video because my OBS was acting up. I have 3 screens with different refresh rates, and it was only today where this decided, or where my PC decided that it was going to be an issue. That and when I started streaming again on my Twitch channel. But we have some corrupted footage, but I did manage to save the race, so we can at least watch it now that it's fixed. But we are just rushing through all these practice programs. We are gonna check for some upgrades to our car, and we decide to buy the rear wing upgrade. Get some more downforce on our car, which I think is, well, it needs all the downforce it can get. I had been doing a lot of time trial practice on Spain because the cars are so different, but qualifying here didn't end well for us. We were, I think, a second and a little bit more, like 1.3 seconds behind our teammate, and almost 9/10 behind Latifi there. But this doesn't really represent our pace. Even though it is a shorter video, you will kind of see what will happen.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You lost to your teammate today. Was it just not your day?
I mean, they were simply just better. The AI is
You won't be starting at the
very
front of
OP.
the pack. Are you worried?
I don't get why she's asking about the front of the pack 2 episodes in a row now. Like, it's a new team. You're not supposed to start in the first row.
The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture on the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down to turn 1 of this 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn 9. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1, so how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Lando Norris and Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sainz, Vettel and Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon and Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, George Russell and Callum Ilott, Mazepin, Latifi, Gasly, they've taken a grid penalty, and Ellis. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
And again, guys, apologies for format of this video, but black screen here, quickly showing you what happened at the end of lap 1. It's a bit choppy, but we'll deal with it. Anyways, 5 lights, sorry, away we go. Quickly jump Latifi, who's now in P22, and we're heading into turn 1 on softs versus the mediums of everyone else. Big dive bomb down into turn 1, and I think we overtake 5 or 6 cars there. Heading into turn 3, which we grip better than the rest of the cars. I had been doing some practice on this track earlier. Heading into turn 4 and turn 5, and we decide that now is the great time for another dive bomb as we lightly tap Tsunoda there on his front left tire. And this is a big improvement to Bahrain, in my opinion. We are able to quickly get past a lot of people. And Raikkonen is not really dropping us, I think. It's very hard to follow or overtake in Spain, but I think we have managed to make the most out of this for the first 2 sectors, I think. But heading into sector 3 here, we are still on Raikkonen's gearbox. He's not really pulled away from us, and I think having a 2-stop strategy here with the softs, especially when you're new, is going to do us a lot of favors. But coming into turn 15 here, we make the mistake in 21 and we clip the curb, and I think this has got to be the most insane crash of this game so far for anyone. The curb completely yeets us into the gravel trap. We hit the barrier, we bounce back on the track, and I think Giovinazzi is the one that catches us and flips us again. As for the second race in a row, we end in a DNF. And I think we do take Giovinazzi with us, and also our own teammate. So in the previous episode, Callum Ilott crashed into us on the early laps and had a spin, which caused the virtual safety car. And in this one, we go off track, bounce back onto the track, and completely end the race for him and Giovinazzi.
Mercedes are on top form once
As you can see, the recording here is quite choppy. An entire lap was like this, so it wasn't really worth showing.
Let's have a quick look at how the driver standings have changed. Not the result our points leader wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Well, you've put me in a bit of a tight spot today, but I think I'll go for Pierre Gasly. He kept a cool head under pressure and made the most of some difficult circumstances.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
As you can see, we DNF'd our teammate there. Gasly, who we started right next to, made quite the leap forward, and I think had we not DNF'd and spun there, we could have made something out of this race, probably gotten at 1 point at least. Next race is gonna be Monaco, and I don't have any false illusions of taking points in Monaco, but at least finishing the race would be quite the step forward for us. Mercedes have won both races, and there's been the same podium, I think, for both races. So we take a quick look here on at the performance, and Alfa Romeo does jump us. Yeah, this is the tweet storm issue here that most content creators for this game has gotten through. I think it's best to fire because you don't really want to risk team acclaim or morale.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix. The marketing department has requested your input on this one.
And the team acclaim that we saved from the last issue, we are gonna lose here, because I would rather lose the acclaim than the cash, especially since we have DNF twice and
Thanks.
you keep paying for the
I appreciate you
damage.
taking the time to help out. You're not currently in a rivalry. Sooner or later, you'll probably be asked by the media who you consider to be your rival. Think carefully who you select, as why you'll receive.
I had to cut Max off there. I thought the Will Buxton interview was gonna choose me, my rival. Nope.
Changed since we were last here. Let's dive in with some questions. Let's talk about that article. Not a good look for you or for your team. Do you want to tell us your side of the story?
I think he's talking about the tweet storm thing. I mean, there's nothing to refute.
Upgrades to your facilities seem to have stalled. Is there no more room for improvement, or are you prioritizing other areas?
I mean, we will upgrade. I mean,
Your
when we
second
have
rival
money
seems
or
to
when
be
it's
getting
time.
much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development?
You
Would it
gotta
be safe
invest
to
in your
say that
staff.
in terms of team
I'm
orders,
not really a
rivalry
fan of these
comes first
questions.
in your team?
I don't really see the point of this if it's
You've
just
been
for
struggling to get
acclaim.
points this season. What are the key areas of improvement you need to make to the team?
I mean, there's only one answer here. I don't think we need to attract new drivers.
Well, thanks a lot for inviting us here. It's been fantastic.
I feel much happier now that I have actually sorted out the recording issue. But this is where I'm gonna end this. I will see you guys in Monaco, and hopefully we actually get to end that race. I don't really care for much points, not in the beginning. But anyways guys, thanks for watching, see you next time, peace.